Stars win, baby. Game 3, Dallas versus Vegas. Dallas's home team. I don't know why I air quoted Dallas. I meant to do the home team. Dallas's home team. We got Dobie versus Leonard again, just like game 2. And let's get into it. We start the first. Dallas looked way better than game 2 already. Ben Sagan and Radulov were together for this one, and they started good. They were hard on pucks. Ben was throwing the body around. He was looking determined, which the Stars as a team play better when that's the case. And so does he, just saying. So it was good to see that going early, getting them involved early. First shift, like I said, they were doing good. Ben would end up cranking Reeves. You know, Reeves went at Ben early game 2. Ben gives it right back early game 3, setting the tone, saying, Stars, we're not going nowhere. We're here. We're in this fight. We're going to take it back at you. Then the next shift that big 3 comes out, Ben then nails Smith. And I'm like, okay, Ben, let's get it. We get about 10 minutes in. It's fairly even period. It looks like Dallas may be controlling a little bit majority of play. At least through the first 10 minutes, it was mainly Dallas. The shots were fairly close, though. The second half was maybe a little bit more towards Vegas. Dallas would go on a power play, 8:27 left in the first, and Dallas actually wouldn't even get a shot on it, and Vegas would get a shot while killing it. So that's another power play. Going back to last game, that's like 3 in a row that Vegas outshot us on our own power plays now. So I don't know what's going on there, but not great looking. We're gonna have to try and work on that, obviously. Vegas would then end up going on a power play with 1:17 left in the first. I'm not a big fan of the call, but again, I'm just a fan. What am I going to do? Get out of the first without allowing anything. We start the second with like the 43 seconds of Vegas power play. We would kill that off. Kiviranta would get a good look, get a good shot. That'd get gloved away. And then you get another good chance. And now when we get stopped too, Kiviranta was looking good in this game also. I guess Cogliano's been a healthy scratch. He's not even like injured anymore. But I don't know, Kiviranta's playing good, and he's making that decision hard, and that's what you want, isn't it? He's playing hard, he's playing fast, he's not giving up on any play, and that's what you want to see out of all your players, right? About 13 minutes left. Nosek was kind of like, went to turn in, and Seka was right there, and they like collided, and I don't think they really knew each other were there. Or at least, I don't think Nosek really knew Seka was there. And it looked really awkward, and Nosek, the way he was like holding his arm and, you know, had it limp and stuff like that, it kind of looked like a dislocated shoulder, but that, I don't know, it could just be dead arm. So, I don't know. I did not see him for the rest of the game, so we'll have to see what's up with that. The Stars had some good zone time. With time running out in the second, Vegas has it in the Stars zone. Como ends up picking up the puck, and the way that Vegas were working Dallas, both Miro and Alexiak were up top covering forwards in like a man-to-man system. So Alexiak sees that Como got the puck. He starts breaking. Heiskanen kind of like skates for that pass. So Heiskanen gets the pass from Como and sees Alexiak, who's gone, and Stone blows the tire. So Heiskanen feeds it to Alexiak, who skates in, and he does a little forehand backhand, and then tucks it backhand, banks it off the pad, and in the net. The Stars take a 1-0 lead with 17 seconds left in the second period. And at this point in the game, I was kind of thinking, wow, whoever scores is going to win. Because, like, this seems to be like a shutdown series, right? That's where we're going. It was 0-0 until 17 seconds left in the second, but now it's 1-0 Dallas thanks to the big rig. To make that play even better, he actually blocked Stone's shot, and it went to Como. So like he blocked it and he saw it, and then he just took off. Great play by him. It's not often you see your D pair, the ones that are on the break. But it worked, so I'm not going to complain. We get into the third. There's a 2-on-1. Rads has it, and he dishes it over to Sagan, who one-times it. Leonard gets his blocker on it and keeps it out. Klinger going for a routine clear out of the zone, and he elevates a little much, flips it out. That's a delay game. And that's a 1.5 minutes into the third period. So not particularly great. 59 seconds into that power play for Vegas, Como would take a hooking penalty. So now Vegas has a 5-on-3 for a minute and a second. So now I am nervous. It's 1-0 game. And Vegas looks very, very determined. Lindell comes up with a huge block. Theodore would crank the pipe, and then it would come back to Theodore up top, and he'd rip it again, and it would looks like it nicked Fox's stick just enough to change direction and flutter a little bit, and it gets by Dobie, and now we got a 1-1 game. But that was after the first penalty had been killed, so the Stars were stuck with 3 defensemen on the ice. But really, I don't see why that's such a big issue. Why when you're killing a penalty, because you're on defense. But Vegas capitalized, and so now it's 1-1. And Vegas would continue to push after that. Joel Henley picks it up, neutral zone. He feeds it across to Sagan, who feeds it up to Ben, who skates in. And I remember at this point in the game earlier, like commentators and stuff like that, like the broadcasters, had been mentioning that when you're about to shoot, that Leonard kind of like flutters his stick out a little bit, and it kind of opens the 5-hole a little bit more. So I was like, interesting. And I noticed that the Stars hadn't been shooting there at all. Well, here comes Ben. He's skating in. He'd already taken a couple up high. He's hit the blocker. He's hit the glove. He's like, you know what? I see the 5-hole. And he fires one with a little bit of hesitation just to make that little flutter happen. And he pots one through the 5-hole. Stars take the lead back. It's now 2-1 with 12 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the third. So Hanley gets his first career playoff point on that play, picking up the second assist there. Vegas is pushing again, trying to tie it back up. Foxu goes for like a hit, and it looked like he jarred his hand. I don't know. In my personal experience seeing stuff like that, I have seen broken hands and wrists from like playing lacrosse and stuff like that, and you like check with your stick and it jars your hand and wrist up into your... That's why you're not supposed to do that. But hopefully it's not that bad. He did come back to the ice for a little bit, but he wasn't seen for overtime, so really we're not sure. I'm hoping it's nothing serious, because he's a huge part of our team. It's a huge hole that we'd need to fill. Carlson would fight off the defense pressure in front of the net, and he would take a good look, actually, that surprised Dobie, but Dobie was good and spot on in this game, and he reacted well, just like he has all game, making unreal save after unreal save. And he just sticks that pad right out, gets the toe on it, keeps the puck out. We got about 9.5 to go. And right after that save, Stars will go down. Ben gets another good look, can't find the back of the net. And then the puck's in the corner, and it comes out, goes up top. And as the puck goes up top, Stone's kind of coming around, and he's going between Dobie and Heiskanen, and his left skate hooks the back of Dobie's right skate right as Tuck decides to shoot it from up top, and the puck goes off Stone as Dobie's getting clipped and goes in the net, and now it's 2-2. I'm still honestly not sure how I feel about this, because I mean, like, I get why they called it a good goal. Like, Stars would challenge it, they called it a good goal. I get why they called it a good goal, but they're not consistent with that stuff. So they either need to start being consistent or figure out a way to be. Dobie didn't look rattled after it. He was just tapping his stick like, let's get back in the game. Like, yep, glad we reviewed it. It was a good call, whatever. But since we challenged it, and it didn't get overturned, that would put Vegas on a power play again with 7:14 left. So Vegas has crazy momentum. They just tied the game back up, and now they're on the power play. Dobie comes flying across to make a save, and he ends up hesitating, passing back across, and he keeps that right pad spread. Makes a couple toe saves with that pad. Gets back up, just making unreal larceny on that play. And then right after, just again, good chance beside the net, and he's down. He sticks that pad out. Boom, gets it a couple more times with that pad. Oh my gosh, Dobie. Doing everything in his power to will the Stars into the win. But it did look like he wasn't feeling great after that, and even the broadcasters were saying that, it looked like he maybe pulled some, he not feeling great. It looked kind of obvious too, he wasn't moving as well, and when he would go down, it took him an extra little bit to get back up. And then the Stars come in late with like a 3-on-1, and Sagan dishes it to Ben, and then you see that Rads is tapping it like, I want it! He has an open net. Ben realizes there's not enough time for that, So he wires one on net. Leonard makes a save, but then he goes down and he's in some pain as period ends. That was right at the buzzer of the third. And the replay showed that it looked like as Leonard went down, like his it would hit him below like the goalie pants and above the pad, like right at the top of the knee there where there's nothing, because it's not exposed very often. Not a great space, so he's probably gonna have a nice bruise for the next few days. But we head into overtime. Not too long into overtime. Vegas has it in Dallas' end. Miro takes it, gives it to Ben. Ben dishes it up to Pavelski, who just came on a line change. Everyone on the bench is supposedly yelling, "Wide, wide, wide," as Radulov is streaking up far side with no one near him. So Pavs just gets it, turns, fires it across ice. Radulov picks it up and he skates in, and he rips it. Goes off the bar, in the net. Stars win 31 seconds into overtime. Wow. And this was kind of funny too, is like the post-game interviews. I don't know if you saw them or not. If you haven't, I recommend watching the one with Rads, Ben, and Dobie, because that one was pretty funny. I'll explain a little bit. Rads was asked like what he saw on that and all that, on that overtime goal, on that play, and he's like, well, Pavelski made a good play to me, and I just kind of went in, closed my eyes, and shot. And then a couple more questions got asked, and then he got asked again. He's like, so you said you closed your eyes on the shot. Do you normally close your eyes when you get opportunities like that? And he said, come on, I didn't close my eyes. Meanwhile, Ben's sitting there giggling, and Dobie's sitting there giggling. I don't know, these the post-game interviews for the playoffs have been pretty funny. Whenever Rads has been around, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so we win it 3-2 in overtime, take the 2-1 series lead, take the lead back in the series. Your 3 stars in the game were Dobie, Ben, and Rads. Let's get into the stats. So Anton Khudobin saved 38 of 40 for a .950 save percentage. Robin Lehner saved 20 of 23 for an .870 save percentage. So his shutout streak came to an end tonight. Yes. The shots on goal. The first period, even though the play was fairly even, I'd say, for the most part, the shots were not. Vegas was shooting a lot more than Dallas was. Dallas seemed to look for that extra pass a lot, whereas Vegas, when they had the shot, they were taking it. The shots in the first were 12-4 for Vegas. And like I said, Vegas didn't dominate play in the first. It was fairly even for the most part. We get into the second, which was controlled by Dallas, mainly. Like, it was mainly all Dallas for the second period. And this just kind of backs up what I said for the first period, is the shots were 14-10 for Dallas. So Dallas did lead in shots. And they controlled the play. Yet Vegas still was close to them in shots, just because Vegas shoots a lot. And then we get into the third. This is when Vegas is down a couple different times. They had a 5-on-3, they had a couple different power plays in that period. And they were pushing. They were wanting that game. They wanted to come back. And the shots, they kept Dallas to 4 shots again for the second time in the game. Except they mustered up 18 themselves. And then we go to overtime, and there was 1 shot in overtime, and that was from the Stars. Alexander Radulov had that shot. So we come with a final total of 40-23. The faceoffs were dead even at 28 apiece. Power plays, 1 for 4 for Vegas, 0 for 1 for Dallas. So Dallas not drawing any power plays, which just seems to be kind of the norm for them this year. The hits were 55-42 for Dallas. That's pretty much it. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. If there's anything I missed, feel free to add that down in the comments. If there's anything you'd like to add, put that down in the comments. And I'll see you after Game 4. Peace out.